Hello, Year 6 artists. We're going to be working on our drawing skills and we're going to be using Pandora as inspiration because we've been looking at Greek myths. And I've got two pictures here of Pandora. Now remember, she was given a box and told not to open it, and then she did, and all the evils of the world came out. And I've got two pictures here by the same artist. The first one here was painted in 1869 and the second one was painted 10 years later. Both painted by the artist Rossetti. Let's have a look at his paintings up close. Now what I'm interested in is the different colours he's used here. In this one it's very fiery and hot, and this one it's very cool and cold. So we're going to use this as inspiration to practice colouring. We're going to do some hot and cold colours. If you're doing this at home, don't worry about it. It's going to be perfectly easy to do. I've got these sheets for those people who've got access to them of the two paintings. I've done it very, very lightly because you're going to colour over the top of them if you're in school. If you're not in school, don't worry. You simply sketch out a very simple version of Pandora twice. I'm not interested in your drawing skills this session because it's about the colours that you use. I want to see a difference in colours. So a simple outline. Don't worry too much about detail. Just get the major shapes in there. It is just shapes. Don't panic. And if you do two of those, one to do the hot colours and one to do the cold. So we're going to start off with the hot colours, the one that was done earlier in 1869. If you're in school, you'll be using pastels. If you're at home, use whatever drawing materials you want. Crayons are good, colour pencils are good, even felt tips if you need to. I want you to choose hot colours. Think of colours that are warm. So warm browns, warm reds, warm oranges, warm yellows. Hot colours. And have the picture that Rossetti did in front of you, either on your screen on the computer or this photocopy if you have it. And you're going to just begin blocking in hot colours. And I want this just to be a bit of a practice of using different drawing materials, really. So if you're using the pastels, what you want to do is to do some nice overlaps with different shades. And then what you can do is use your finger to smudge them. Crayons at home will get a similar idea where you sort of draw over the top of each other, and you can do similar with pencils. A little bit tougher with felt pens. So kind of they're your last resort to use. If that's what all you've got, that's absolutely fine. But I would go, if you haven't got pastels, go for crayons and then colour pencils if you haven't got crayons. And look, I'm not doing detail. I'm not trying to do all her eyes and nose and mouth and features. I'm just blocking in colours. It's all about having a practice of seeing how you can blend colours and just seeing the difference between the two uses of the tones, the hot colours and the cool colours. I'm not going to do this whole thing. I think it's just an experiment, so you don't really need to see much detail. Just have a play with it. Switching to the cool colours now. I'm using chalk pastels. Those last ones were oil pastels, which blend really easy and do strong colours. I've now switched to using cool colours in chalk pastels. Whatever you're using at home, it's fine. I just wanted to get people trying different things. So cool colours are things like the blues, the whites and greens. And look at this. This is an orange, which you think would be a hot colour. But in pastel, in the chalk pastel, it's quite cold. I just held up the oil pastel so you could see the difference there. So it's quite a cold orange. And then we're just shading these in. Now, the lovely thing about these chalk pastels is the way that it all blends with your fingers. With the oils, you have to sort of like push a bit harder, but this is lovely. You can just do an outline and fill in a whole area just from using a little tiny bit. And again, I'm not going to show you the whole thing here. I think it's pointless. I just want you to have an experiment. with that. That's great. So that's the first thing I want you to do. Have a try with those hot colours and cold colours, like the two Pandoras by Rossetti. Fantastic.